Hello, I'm Bookface, and welcome back to another speed drawing. This time we're turning Torterra into a giant monster kaiju thing. I don't know why I sound so awkward right now. This is the third time I've tried recording this. The first time I just didn't know how to speak. Second time I tried, or I guess first and second, I tried to do this like double speed, and it kind of flowed a little better, but I also couldn't really comment on it. But yeah. So for the structure of this creature, I made it look like kind of based off Behemoth from the Godzilla movies, who doesn't show up much, but I really like the structure he has, just sort of semi-bipedal monster-y thing. I don't know. Look, man, you don't come here for words. You come here for draws. Oh yeah, they use that real meshy brush. Use the real meshy brush to try to make the grass, and it looks horrible. Don't worry, that gets fixed later. Uh, so yeah, I duplicate the arm because I'm a lazy artist. Uh, Harder, not smarter. Wait, no, that's smarter, not harder. That's how you're supposed to work. Even though I like how this beak turned out after a couple tries, of course, I do kind of like the tiny little beak that I did in the sketch. Also, I suck at doing sketches. I've been watching a lot more art videos recently on YouTube, and they'll do like full sketches and that'll basically be the outline for their drawing. I draw awkward shapes and build off it and somehow manage to get something with mixed results. Just thinning out them legs a little bit. Gotta work on leg day and thick forearm day. Love that day at the gym. Oh yeah, I made the shell into like a giant mound of dirt. Oh god, that leg don't look right. Something about that leg don't look quite right. But yeah, the shell. I made the shell like a giant mound of dirt because that's kind of how Torterra works. Shell and there's trees and things. I'm giving a very apt description of Torterra. Oh yeah, I made the grass a tiny bit better. Even though this is just a green stripe down the back, it's still better than that weird meshy nonsense I had. I'll wait on the shell till I'm actually working on the shell. So I just try brushing and pinching and pushing things around, try to make it look meshy, but then I get lazy and decide to use the foliage brush that Photoshop has, and then even more lazy and just get one section done, then clone tool it onto everything else, and then just sort of use the brush thing to make it look a little more natural. Remember what I said about smarter, not harder? Yeah, I got neither. I'm not smart or hard. Well, that was a mistake. Oh, what happened with the perspective for a minute? Let's focus on that and not what I said. Oh yeah, I'm making little rocks to get the bottom of the shell. Yeah, like I was saying with shells, it's very hard to draw creatures with like turtle shells or whatever and have them actually look like they could effectively move and do things because tortoises are notoriously very slow and pretty much immobile. So trying to make a giant creature with a very stiff structure on the back, which would definitely remove a lot of mobility. So it's hard to have that and still make it look mobile. Also, I made the nice little smirk, like I don't know what that sound was. It's kind of a Minecraft villager, but I ended up changing it because I didn't want him to have a weird smirk. Maybe that was a regret. Maybe that was a mistake. Maybe my life is a lie. I don't know. I don't know what happens when I try to record these. But yeah, I used a real thin, patchy brush again for the grass, and to once I get in a bunch of different layers, I shake it up by erasing with that same brush to sort of thin it out a bit so it looks grassy, but it doesn't look like you could still see a bit of the dirt shell thing underneath. Then I started going with the eye, and I have zero idea what I should do with it. But then I decided to get creative with, hold on, it's coming, edgy eyes, basically. Boy, I love how awful this all sounds without editing. Usually, if I do a or something, I'd probably edit a sound effect, maybe like some guitar. Nope, no editing on these. Anyways, so then I put in these mountains on the shell. It was a little tricky to make it look like they weren't all just like popping out of the other side of the shell because I wanted it to look fairly even. And then the shading looks really weirdly blocky, but I think it kind of works for the rocky geometric-y kind of structure that I gave it. And then we got big old tree, which was surprisingly difficult. Um, Basically, I didn't have enough room. My big mistake is making things fit the frame too well, and then like I don't have any room to work with. Yeah, Torterra was kind of getting overshadowed by his big bro. But yeah, so I did this, and then I realized I could make it fuller if I made a copy of it, layered it underneath, and then merged them together. Then I have one mega tree. And because, drawing trees is difficult, I just copied and pasted it on other parts of the shell and changed the size and shape a bit. So, like I said, smart, hard, do work. I don't even know what that means anymore. I don't know what I mean anymore. Anyways, claws. I wanted them to look very Rocky too, because not Rocky 2. Only Rocky 1 in this YouTube channel. Around. So I put all claws on the first one, right? On the front. That was the one I was trying to say. Paws, and I made these little lines to make it look like it's dirt, but also like very big. For the back legs, I didn't do any claws and just did big because I don't know why I just did. And of course, here's me messing around with the tree because I realized, hey, this doesn't really look organic. This looks really blobby. At this point, I think I'm happy with the design of the creature, and it's time to start. Oh, I added a little texture you could see for a quick second. I start designing the background. I design the background. There's the background. So I give him this big rocky field sort of area because big. So if I put him like in a bunch of trees, it'll probably make him look a little small. Plus contrast low. So I make a basic sky, some rocks. Then in a second, I tree that. That was a very slow tree. I was having some issues with my brushes in this one. It was kind of freezing up a bit. But yeah, so I want to make the trees look small because, as well as looking kind of like Behemoth in structure, it's also supposed to be somewhat like him in scale. So really, really big. So I make the trees all look intentionally pretty thin, layered on top of each other, so there's not much space in between. It kind of looks like, they're all really close together. And I warp it into like this weird curve so it looks more like it's in the background, I guess. Fixing up my little example image because I gotta do that. And then here's the contrasting shading, which is minor differences, but I like it. And here we have our final product. Big old guy, I call him the Earth Shell because his shell is the Earth. I'm very creative and wanted to make real cool sounding names for these ones in the series, unlike my regular ones, which would probably be named like Bingus or something. But yeah, I'm happy with how this one turned out, and this is easily one of my best drawings so far in this series. I will say, I wish I had thought to add like the little bone spiky things on the head. I think that would have really added to it a little bit, because he does look a little plain in like his body. The shell kind of takes it all away. But I mean, like, that's also kind of good. It's a big old focal point. Maybe, I don't know, art terms make me sound smarter. But yeah, I'm happy with how this turned out. And don't worry, Infernape is coming soon. I thought I had something to say after that, but I do not. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Bye.